student from first year ESO at IES Nicolás Copérnico in Écija, Sevilla.
We want you to know our wonderful language assistant. Her name is Roxana and she comes from the USA. She is really nice and her classes are great fun.
Welcome to our interview. We hope you like it. Roxana, where do you come from? And is your family originally from somewhere else?
Hello, I am Roxana. I am the language assistant for the year 2023 through 2024. I am coming from the United States, specifically Colorado, or Colorado in Spanish. But my parents, both of my parents, are immigrants from Iran. So I am the first generation of my family to be born in the United States. So I am 100% Iranian from both sides of my family. So it's very easy for me to trace my origins because my parents are the ones who immigrated here, or to the United States.
Hi Roxana, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies are, my biggest one is dancing. I love dancing. I also love yoga. I love to spend time in nature, and I also like to go to concerts. I love listening to music, and yeah, that's pretty.
Roxana, how many languages can you speak?
I speak, I would say 2.5 languages. I say that because the half is my Spanish. My Spanish is still not 100% perfect. But I speak English, obviously. I'm a native English speaker because I was born in the United States and went to school my whole life in the United States. But my parents spoke Farsi with me growing up, so that's my second language. And I also know how to read and write in Farsi, which was pretty difficult to learn because it's a completely different writing system than like English and Spanish have the same characters to write with. So I went to classes on the weekends. My parents sent me to classes to learn how to do that. But yeah, I speak, I would say like 2.5, almost 3 languages.
Roxana, why do you enjoy learning languages?
I enjoy learning languages because it's a way to understand the culture the culture of a place at a much deeper level. I think when you learn a new language, you learn a completely new culture, and you can understand it from a different perspective than if you learn it from your native language. So I think that, for example, here in Spain, learning Spanish culture through the Spanish language is a lot different than learning about Spanish culture but in English. So that's why I like it, is because I like to understand different cultures.
Roxana, there are many different countries. Why did you decide to come to a Spanish school?
So I actually, I visited Spain with my school, so kind of similar to Erasmus, in 2018 when I was in high school. So I was 18 years old, and I really fell in love with the country and the people, and I knew I wanted to come back someday, maybe just to visit or to live. And one day online, I saw a program that was a teaching assistant program for people from North America, so like Canada and the United States. And I decided to apply for that program and I was accepted. So last year was my first year in Spain and I was in Écija, and I loved it so much that I wanted to stay for another year. But this year I'm at Nicolás Copérnico, so I have a much different experience working with like very, very little babies, and now I work with older students and we can communicate more, and it's been a very, very amazing experience.
Roxana, what advice do you have for people who want to learn English?
My advice for people who want to learn English is to have friends and have conversations with them in English. Even if you are not perfect at English, it is much more useful to practice having a conversation than to only write and study, because for me, when I was learning Spanish at school, I only learned, the grammar, the verbs, and writing and reading, but it's completely different when you have to speak with someone. So my biggest advice is to have conversations and push yourself outside of your comfort zone in order to improve, because that is I think the number one best way to learn a language is to make friends and have conversations, even if your language is not perfect.
Roxana, what have you studied at university and why did you choose it?
So in the United States, you can do a few different things. So you can have a major, it's called, or a minor. So a major is what you focus most of your studies on, and a minor is what you focus a little bit of your studies on. Some people, they do two majors, one major, one minor, or however they do it. For me, I chose to do a major in economics and a minor in dance. So completely different, unrelated topics. I chose to study economics because it is something that has always interested me. I'm very interested in politics and how humans are involved with money and trading and how it affects our societies. So I chose to study economics instead of only politics, because I think economics specifically was more interesting for me. And then I did dance as my minor because that is my sport that I have done my whole life. And the university I went to has a very good dance program, a very big known dance program in the United States. And I'm very happy that I did this because it gave me a creative and artistic way to express myself, because economics is more logical and a lot more studying, but dancing helped me to focus on my creative abilities also.
Roxana, do you like traveling? What are the most interesting places you have visited so far?
I love traveling. I have always loved traveling ever since I was younger. I think the most interesting place I have traveled to so far would have to be Italy. I went to Italy in 2019 with my family for a wedding. So we were in the Italian Alps, and it was a very, very unique experience to experience a wedding from a different culture. It was like a mix of Iranian culture and Swiss Italian culture. So that is probably the most interesting place, but every single place I have gone has been amazing in different ways. But in Spain, the most interesting place I have been to, I think, would be Tenerife. I think to me, it's very, very unique, different culture than the rest of Spain. And it had very good food also.
Roxana, what other places would you like to visit in the future and why?
To be honest, I would like to visit every single place if I had the opportunity. So, but I guess right now, the place I would go to next, I would love to go to Greece. I think Greece has a very interesting culture. I think that is somewhere definitely in Europe I want to go, but I also want to go to Asia and Africa and the Middle East. So it's hard to say one specific place because I love to travel, and if I could travel to every single place, I would.
Roxana, what's your favorite food? Do you like Spanish food?
Well, since I have been in Spain for some time now, I definitely do like Spanish food. My favorite Spanish food is tortilla with onions. I love onions. But eating Spanish food is a little bit difficult for me because I am a vegetarian, but I have tried, different things. I try to open my mind, but in general, I don't eat meat. So, but I think my favorite food is probably cheese. I think cheese from every single country, every single culture is so good. There is no cheese that I have ever had that I don't like. So in Spain, I love the manchego cheese. It's super good, but I have it just the cheese. I don't eat the jamon.
Roxana, what are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future are I have to go back to the United States, unfortunately, because my program is finishing and I cannot renew for another year, sadly. But I plan to go back and live with my mom for a few years to work and save money, because in the future, I think I want to come back to Spain. I think it is an amazing country with amazing people and amazing culture. And I could imagine myself living here for the rest of my life. So for now, that is what I would like to do. And I am going to try my best to make it possible. So maybe in 5 or 10 years, when you are finished with school, I will be back and maybe I will live in Écija, maybe I will live somewhere else. Definitely in Andalusia. I think it's the best part of Spain. But whatever I do, I will be here.
Thank you very much for this interview, Roxana. We are glad that other people know you now as well.
Roxana, it has been a great year with you. We will miss you a lot when you leave our school. We wish you the best, Roxana.
and to all of you who are watching this video, thanks for being there.
And she comes from the USA. She is really nice, and her classes are.
Roxana, what advice do you have who
Roxana, there are many different countries. Why did you decide to come to a Spanish school?